Good day, everyone, especially to you, ma'am. So, by the way, I'm Gilbert Alasad, the reporter. Now, in my report this day is entitled of Rizal, the Polymath. Our national hero was just an ordinary hero. He was one very bright and multi-talented man. Our hero often did multitasking. He was a certified polymath. Now, let me give you a list of what our hero was during his storied lifetime. These are the polymath of Rizal. First is actor. Who knew that our hero was an actor? Jose Rizal acted during his school days as a character from Juan Lonas. Paintings now I didn't know that Rizal had acting skills, but he sure was a quiet and vain person, so that makes sense. Agriculturist. Rizal as a farmer doesn't surprise as folk sense that Rizal family had lots of lands wherein they earn a living for it. Rizal also farmed during his productive years. In the Pitan, he planted may fruit, bearings trees, and harvested that fruit. Next is Ambassador of Goodwill. His friendliness, goodwill, and cultural associations with friends entitled him as one, since he traveled a lot and truly a trait of every Filipino is he is hospital and he knows pakikisama. Next is animal lover. As a small boy, Rizal loved animals including birds, fish, insects, and other specimens of animal life. Fowls, rabbits, dogs, horses, and cats constituted his favorites. As much as possible, he did not wish fowls to be killed even for food, and showed displeasure in being asked to eat the cooked animal. The family garden in Calamba abounded with insects, galar, and birds native to the Calamba environs. He wrote about and sketched animals of the places he had toured. Next is anthropologist. He made research on the physical and social makeup of man. Uh, Archaeologist. Rizal studied monuments, and antique currency everywhere he went. He drew most of the monuments he saw. So next is ascetic. Rizal always practiced of self-discipline wherever he went. Next is book lover. He had a big library and brought many books abroad. Next is botanist. Rizal maintained a garden in the Pitan where he planted and experimented on plants of all kinds. He also a businessman. He had a partner in the Pitan in the abaca business there in 1892 to 1896. He also a cartographer. He drew maps of the Pitan, the Philippines, and other places he visited. Chess player. He played chess and bear several Germans and European friends and acquaintances. Citizens of the world. His extensive travels and multitude of friends in Europe, Middle East, and Asia made him one. Commentator. Rizal always expresses and publishes his personal opinion. Concologist. He had a good shell collection in the Pitan, and American conchologists praised him. Educator. Rizal taught in his special school in the Pitan. Ethnologist. In his travels, Rizal was able to compare different races and he noted the difference. Next is father of community schools. He proposed college in Hong Kong, and his special school in the Pitan made him a father of community schools. Fencer. He fenced with Europeans and Juan Luna and other friends in Europe. Freemason abroad, he was member of La Solidaridad Lads in Spain. He also horticulture and farmer. He experimented on the cultivated plants in the Pitan. He also a historian. His annotation of Antonio de Murgas Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas entitled him as one. Humorous. There are many humorous incidents in the Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. Etiologies. He collected 38 new varieties of fish in the Pitan. Japanopil. His admiration of Japanese traits and his knowledge of her language prove he was one. He also a journalist. He authored the published many articles in Spanish and English and London. Laboratory worker. He was employed in a clinic of Dr. L. Wicker in Paris. Linguist. He spoke over 20 foreign languages. What do you speak from a man who truly traveled almost the entire world? Next is lover of truth. He chided Spanish writers for not writing the truth about the Filipinos. He was always truthful since boyhood. He also a musician. He played the flute and composed pieces of music and cultivated music appreciation. He is also a mythologist. Rizal used mythology in his Noli and Philip, and he also a nationalist. He gave full expression of the native spirit strengthened by world civilization and love and defended everything Filipino. Newspaperman. He wrote and published articles in many publications and was one of the organizers of the La Solidaridad. Ophthalmologist. He graduated in an ophthalmologic college in Spain. Next is Orientalist. Rizal admired that special characteristic and beauties of Oriental countries' peoples. He also a pharmacologist. Rizal treasured and popularized the usefulness and preparation of cures for treatment of his patients. Philologist. Rizal love and learning and literature is uniqual. Philosopher. Rizal not only loved wisdom but also regulated his life and enjoyed calmness of the life at all time. Physical culturist. Rizal maintained a good health by exercising all parts of his body and eating proper foods. He also a physician. He treated several patients afflicted not only with eye diseases. Plant lover. He also a plant lover. As a child, Rizal spent most of his time in the family garden, which was planted with fruit trees, shrubs, and decorative trees. His diaries contain detailed description and sketches of plants, flowers, and fruits he saw in the places he visited. He wrote poems of flowers he liked very much, as his poems to the flowers of Heidelberg. Poet. Rizal wrote over 35 poems, including his famous Ultimo Adios. Politician. Although Rizal did not engage in politics, he exposed the evils of the political activities of the Spaniards and the Philippines through his writing. Polyglot. Rizal spoke and wrote in 20 languages. Proofreader. In Germany, he worked as a part-time proofreader of his livelihood. propagandist. As a reformer, Rizal encourages the recommendation of improving the government entities and discourages abuses publishing articles. Public relation man. He worked for better cooperation of rulers and subjects in his country. Rhetorician. Rizal has always practiced the art of persuasive and impressive speaking and writing. Rural reconstruction worker. He practiced rural reconstruction work in the Pitan in 1894 and succeeded. Sanitary engineer. His construction of a water system in the Pitan exemplified this practice by Rizal. Scientist. Rizal practice of many sciences here and abroad made him not scientist. Sculpture. His works of his father and of father Jericho S.G. typified his sculptural ability. Sharpshooter. He could hit a target to 20 meters away. Sinologist. Rizal's ancestry and his ability to speak Chinese made him one. Sociologist. In Rizal's study of Philippines social problems, he always encouraged and introduced solutions. Sodalist. He always joined fraternities, association, and brotherhood for self-improvement. Sportsman. He engaged from a surveying class at the Ateneo after passing his AB there. Tourist. He was considered the foremost tourist due to his extensive travels. Traveler. He traveled around the world 3 times. Tuberculosis expert. For having cured himself of this disease, he became and was recognized as an expert. Youth leader. He considered the youth as the hope of this fatherland. Zoologist. He was fond of pets. He researched later on their zoology, classification, and habits. Why Rizal is polymath? Question. And a polymath, if you think speaking 22 languages is not awesome enough, Rizal was also a certified polymath, which means a person of great learning in several fields of study. He was a journalist, playwright, ophthalmologist, farmer, historian, painter, novelist, engineer, and educator. So, that's all, and thank you for watching and listening my report.